From new apps and loyalty programs to even a mobile book bar, Belencre and One Way Street are bringing out all the bells and whistles to expand their businesses. Let's take a look at what management at these two booksellers envision for their future.
This is One Way Street's development team. It's behind the company's app, We Read, which has attracted about 500,000 users since July 2014. One Way Street has also created its own flagship store on online retailer JD.com's website. But Yu Wei says her company isn't interested in becoming an online retailer itself. She says the internet is simply a vehicle for attracting additional customers. And the internet is where the customers are. The research report website says that by 2012, 15.7 million customers completed 54.2 million transactions on the Dangdang website. The challenge bookstores face now, besides low online prices, is how to attract people back into their shops. That's especially true for Belencre, which hasn't been around as long as One Way Street. Chen Xiaomin explains that customers have always been Belencre's focus.
Our target group is in the middle to high income level. We can't be too high-end, though. We have to be available to the average person.
Belencre defines its typical client as a well-established city dweller between the ages of 25 to 40 years old. Chen established Belencre's member system in an effort to regain customers.
We can't compete with websites on price, so our strategy is to give only a reasonable discount for our members, and our stores keep only a selection of top works in stock. I'm confident people who really like reading appreciate having bookstores around.
Belencre now has more than 10,000 members in Beijing, Shanghai, and Jiangsu Province. The member system and special services have helped Belencre through its tough startup period. The company now has 15 stores, a turnover of 13 million yuan in 2013, and a projected turnover of 30 million yuan in 2014. Belencre also is working to build its brand, and like One Way Street, it's promoting itself online. The company is also developing its own app in order to extend its reach.
We will award active online users with a basic membership, but of course, we still want them to create some profit for us. So they will still have to pay for some of our services. When you provide the kind of service that your customers are looking for, they will be willing to pay you for it.
Belencre is always searching for new means to expand its business. One way to do that may be the mobile book bar it proposed in 2014.
The company aims to expand into residential areas, but in Chinese cities, these areas are pretty spread out. Our area won't be enough to support a full store, so we designed a mobile book bar that can cover 3 or 4 communities, as well as parks and school campuses.
The mobile book bar is still under development, But Chen Xiaomin believes that such innovations are the only way bookstores can avoid being eaten alive by the online retailers.
So One-Way Street's owner, Yu Wei, says that she doesn't want to have that large of an online presence in terms of selling books online.
Right.
But it seems like these days, the trend is book sales are indeed going online. So what do you think about this sort of business strategy, or no action, you might say? Do you think it's a viable option? Is it sort of like throwing rocks at an oncoming tide then?
You know, Michael, I think to the extent that One-Way Street is still predominantly focused on its offline bookstore operations and also competing against online players by offering this unique reading experience, I think it makes sense to use this online to offline model, where the online component, as you just mentioned, is used to advertise and to attract customers to its physical stores offline. You know, it appears that nowadays almost every company has an internet or online strategy, right? But oftentimes, if you think about it, it's not because they truly see and understand the value of e-commerce or internet. Sometimes it's simply because everyone else is doing it, so they feel like they have to do it too, right? But in reality, what we see is, you know, some companies try to operate in both worlds, you know, online and offline, but eventually fails and retreated from the online world. So there are a number of challenges to operating in both worlds. For example, pricing, right? How do you determine between the online and offline prices? If you offer the same prices, then your online price will be significantly higher than other online competitors, right? So you won't have a competitive advantage there. But if your online price is set to be below your offline price, then this will jeopardize your offline sales, right? So this is actually a dilemma you have to really think through. And also management is hard because now you need an online team, you also have an offline team, and then you need two systems and two IT systems and two management systems. So everything almost needs to be doubled, right, in terms of investment. So and how do you coordinate between online and offline? How do you do performance evaluation? That's also hard. And lastly, you know, upfront investment. If you set up an online bookstore, you need an IT crew, right? And you need investment into technology, and that can take a lot of money. And also, once the bookstore is set up, you need to continue to invest, right, to maintain the website and all that. So you have to think through, you know, all these challenges and potential problems here.
So Belencre's owner right now wants to open these mobile book bars in various communities across the country. What do you think about this business proposition? Do you think that's a little bit too far away from its core business right now of selling books in physical shops?
Well, you know, Michael, I think the community-based service offerings has become a very popular concept in the last few years. Just from personal, you know, observations, last year, I think some of the commercial banks in China have started to deploy all these ATM machines, you know, in those residential communities. And the value proposition there is the convenience, right? But this year, I start to see some of them actually are closing down these ATMs or taking them away because of the low usage, right? So I think it's the same thing, or more or less similar with the mobile book bars. In fact, I actually saw a mobile book bar that was deployed on the side of a major street, not too far from where I live. But every time I walk past by it, nobody was really using it. And you know, the irony is, I think most people are just too busy playing with their cell phones to even notice there was a mobile book bar, you know, on the side of the street. So, and if you look at these mobile book bars, they are fixed assets. I mean, they require upfront investment. So before Belencre makes that move, I think the company really have to think through the true value of this new business and product offerings and see whether or not it is going to be appealing to its target customers.
Well, they don't have to stock that many books on the mobile book bar if they have the Tsinghua Management Review, that business magazine of Tsinghua University. I guess I'll go for that as well.
Great.
Many thanks for your insights today on Belencre and One-Way Street, Professor.
Well, thank you for having me, Michael.
And on that note, we wrap up this edition of New Money here on CCTV News. I'm Michael Wong. We'll see you again next week.